Streaming now at 5:30, royal scandal deepens. Tonight, the former Prince Andrew released from jail hours after being arrested. The former royal facing serious allegations following the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. King Charles responding tonight, and the fallout could shake the monarchy to its core.
King is actually saying we need to follow the law here. I wish our government were doing the same.
New details tonight on this developing story and what it could mean for the royal family and beyond. Mardi Gras mayhem, actor Shia LaBeouf accused of battery and a hate crime after an alleged incident on Fat Tuesday. The latest on the investigation and why the alleged victim wants more serious charges. Hospital under attack. The largest hospital in Mississippi is in crisis mode tonight after a ransomware attack. How this is affecting patients and what it could mean for personal information. Tahoe tragedy, severe weather hindering efforts tonight after a deadly avalanche near Lake Tahoe. New details on the search for the missing and the warnings issued before the disaster. Trump's peace push. President Trump unveiling a bold plan to rebuild Gaza and bring enduring peace to the Middle East. His new warning to Iran in his ambitious proposal. Also, a new way to save. Families are getting a new option to boost their children's financial future. We'll explain the Trump account and how your child could get free money. Friday Feast, a local tradition, is back in the spotlight. Why an old letter might change your Lenten dinner plans. And foggy start, Jeff Morrows tracking the potential for dense fog tomorrow and your first look at your weekend forecast.
You're watching WAFB's streaming newscast, live and local, with Dion Guillory. This is 9 News at 5:30.
Breaking as we begin streaming here at 5:30, the former Prince Andrew just released from custody and remaining under investigation tonight following his arrest. The move comes in the wake of revelations in the Epstein files. His brother, King Charles, saying the law must take its course. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are pushing for similar accountability. Karen Kaifa starts us off tonight from Washington.
Britain's King Charles arriving at an event in London Thursday, declining to answer questions about his brother Andrew's arrest.
What's your reaction to your brother's arrest?
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was arrested Thursday morning on suspicion of misconduct in public office, according to the Thames Valley Police. It comes on the heels of the U.S. Justice Department's release of documents detailing the former prince's ties to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The Thames Valley Police previously said it was assessing whether Andrew shared confidential material with Epstein during his time as a UK trade envoy.
It's a common law offence and it requires a really high level of proof because the potential penalty, the total potential penalty, the maximum penalty is life imprisonment.
The former prince has denied all accusations against him and has not commented on the more recent allegations of misconduct in public office. In a statement, King Charles said the law must take its course and pledged full support for the investigation. The arrest with the potential to send more shockwaves through the British monarchy and government.
The first dramatic fallout that seems to be happening from the publication of these Epstein files seems to be more than anything else in the United Kingdom rather than in the United States, where the crisis began.
Some lawmakers on Capitol Hill calling for similar accountability here in the U.S.
Great Britain is holding its powerful and privileged to account. The United States of America should do the same.
And the king is actually saying we need to follow the law here. I wish our government were doing the same.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
New tonight, we now have details about funeral services for Xavier University's longtime president, Dr. Norman C. Francis. He'll be honored over 2 days, and you are invited to attend. Dr. Francis will lie in repose at Xavier University's Convocation Center. That's on March 2nd, starting at 9 a.m. Visitation starts at 4, followed by a program at 5. March 3rd services will be held at the St. Louis Cathedral. Visitation starts at 8 a.m., followed by a rosary at 9:30 and Mass at 10. Dr. Francis will be laid to rest at St. Louis No. 3 Cemetery. New tonight, we've learned the FBI reaching out to the Mexican government and law enforcement in the search for Nancy Guthrie. The mother of the Today Show co-host vanished from her Tucson home 19 days ago. With the family cleared and so far no hits on the DNA collected, footage from Guthrie's doorbell camera is the only direct link to a suspect. The Pima County Sheriff says Google is working to recover video from other cameras on the property.
In the fact that there's so much technology out there, it becomes You have to, one, be careful of the legalities of that technology and how you're using it.
The sheriff's office has not ruled out the possibility of an accomplice and continues to sort through tens of thousands of calls from the public. A man wants Shia LaBeouf to be charged with a hate crime, accusing the actor of hitting him early Fat Tuesday while calling him a homophobic slur multiple times. The alleged victim, Jeffrey, says he first went to a place on Royal Street where he says he encountered LaBeouf acting erratically. LaBeouf was arrested and after allegedly hitting Jeffrey and another person and booked with 2 counts of simple battery. He was released on Mardi Gras before a court appearance. Jeffrey maintains LaBeouf spewed homophobic slurs his way the entire night. Now he says he wants charges against him upgraded.
I mean, it's a hate crime, right? You're beating people up because somewhere in your mind their sexuality goes against what you think should get to live.
Ultimately, it's up to the district attorney to determine if it in fact crosses the certain lines you have to cross to make it a hate crime. If it does, it's a lot more serious offense with a lot bigger penalties.
The New Orleans Police Department saying the case remains under investigation tonight. 2 major drug busts tonight leading to multiple arrests in southwest Louisiana. WFB learning from our sister station Lake Charles, 3 people were arrested after a traffic stop on I-10. Detectives say they searched a van and found 5 packages of suspected cocaine. They recovered nearly 35 pounds of drugs with an estimated street value of more than $200,000. Celia Mariquin Lozano, Juan Francisco Gonzalez de Leon, and Jose Armando Ochoa, all from Illinois, were taken into custody. Mariquin Lozano and Gonzalez de Leon are also facing federal detainers for being in the U.S. illegally. Their bonds are set at $3 million each. In the second case, a Lake Charles man is facing serious charges for drugs and weapons. Detectives say they seized more than 35 pounds of marijuana, nearly 20 pounds of THC products, shrooms, and other drugs from Jeremy Caron's apartment. The drugs have a street value of more than $100,000. Caron is charged with multiple drug and weapons violations. His bond is set at $1.4 million. The largest hospital in the state of Mississippi, University of Mississippi Medical Center, running in crisis mode tonight after they suffered a ransomware attack early this morning. There are many unanswered questions at this hour. Our sister station in Jackson reporting that all elective surgeries are canceled and all of its clinics are closed statewide. Patients are still being seen, but all of the electronic records are offline while they determine the extent of the attack.
The emergency patients will still be cared for. The bedside taking care of patients, we are able to have those operations in place and take care of patients. So that is our top priority, is to be sure that we can still provide that care to the patients at the bedside that we need. As Dr. Jones mentioned, we are trying to mitigate the volume a little bit so that we can give the attention to those emergency and urgent cases.
As of now, they don't know how this will affect the personal information of their patients, but the FBI and other law enforcement are working to find solutions to get the systems back up and running safely. FEMA announcing federal disaster assistance is now available to help the state recover from the severe winter storm that hit last month. The federal funding will be used for emergency work and to fix or replace facilities damaged by the storm. 9 parishes, all in northeast Louisiana, are included for debris removal and emergency protective measures. Well, we could see another freeze in the next few days. Jeff Morrow standing by with those details and the potential for fog. Jeff.
Potential for some early morning fog until we get some drier air in here. That'll take place Sunday morning. So for Friday and Saturday mornings, potential could be there for some patchy fog. Not expecting dense fog because winds are going to probably be too strong to allow for that to occur. But average visibility around 1 to 3 miles still possible around the viewing area between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. of most concern in terms of timing. Use those low beam headlights. Watch for kiddos that could be playing in area neighborhoods or waiting for the bus stop if they've got school coming up on Friday. So a look at the rainfall chance for Friday and Saturday Saturday, still very slight. Scattered chance for some showers, so at least have a standby umbrella handy for the next couple of days. But the cold front is going to be pushing through late on Saturday, and it's going to divide our weekend into two very different forecasts. Saturday, we're going to be dealing with warmer than normal temperatures, breezy winds, and dodging a few raindrops. For Sunday, we're talking about dry, cool, and very breezy conditions. We could see some wind gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour during the day on Sunday, and it's even cooler beyond that. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes, Dion.
All right, Jeff, thanks. Questions are being raised tonight about why a group of skiers were on a mountain leading to the deadliest U.S. ski-related avalanche in California history. Crews are still attempting to retrieve the bodies. Gwen Baumgartner tonight with the challenges they are facing.
Severe weather is hampering recovery efforts about 10 miles north of Lake Tahoe, 2 days after a devastating avalanche.
Someone saw the avalanche, yelled avalanche, and then it overtook them.
Rescue teams have located the bodies of 8 skiers who were taken out by the slide near Castle Peak Tuesday, but a 9th, presumed dead, remains missing.
Our mission now is to get them home.
The men and women between the ages of 30 and 55 were on the last day of a 3-day backcountry trip and had spent 2 nights in huts when a monster storm dumped up to 7 feet of snow in the region.
My first thought was why.
Kurt Gensheimer was among the experienced skiers who decided to leave the area ahead of avalanche warnings.
This storm is raging. These guides are experts. They know the terrain, they know the conditions, they know the risks.
Officials say one of the 9 victims was married to one of the rescuers. The other 6 members of the group were found alive after reportedly seeking refuge in trees.
They suffered some sort of injuries during the avalanche itself.
The Sierra Avalanche Center monitoring conditions had issued an avalanche warning just hours before disaster struck. Recovery teams are not expected to go back out until the weather clears. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News.
Late Wednesday, Sugar Bowl Resort confirmed multiple victims in this week's deadly avalanche had connections to the ski resort as well as its elite ski academy. Well, President Donald Trump's second term sending shockwaves throughout the world. Now a year into his presidency, he's expected to discuss foreign policy at his State of the Union address next week. It's an area the president gives himself high marks. Over the last year, President Trump consistently mentioned his part in ending multiple wars around the world. It was because of this the president believes he was snubbed when he did not win the Nobel Peace Prize. Between imposing tariffs on U.S. allies, threats of seizing sovereign territory like Greenland, and building an international board of peace, foreign policy expert at Columbia University Lincoln Mitchell argues the post-World War II order may never be the same.
Really changed how the U.S. relates to and how the rest of the world sees the United States, particularly how our allies see us.
Many State of the Union observers are curious to see how the president lays out his foreign policy roadmap for the year ahead. You can hear the president address the nation on Tuesday starting at 8 p.m. President Trump presides over the first meeting of that new Board of Peace. They talked about the process of rebuilding Gaza after the war. John Decker is at the White House with more from that meeting.
Gaza was decimated after 2 years of war, and President Trump on Thursday promised to rebuild the territory and bring what he called enduring peace to the Middle East. Representatives of more than 40 countries gathered at the U.S. Institute of Peace for the inaugural meeting of the Board of Peace.
It's called the Board of Peace, and it's all about an easy word to say, but a hard word to produce, peace. But we're going to produce it.
The president said 9 countries have pledged $7 billion for security and reconstruction in Gaza, and he also announced that the U.S. would contribute $10 billion to the Board of Peace, although he didn't specify the source of that funding.
Together we can achieve the dream of bringing lasting harmony to a region tortured by centuries of war, suffering and carnage.
The president also teased the possibility of U.S. military action against Iran over the next 10 days.
And now is the time for Iran to join us on a path that will complete what we're doing. And if they join us, that'll be great. If they don't join us, that'll be great too. But it'll be a very different path. They cannot continue to threaten the stability of the entire region, and they must make a deal.
As for Gaza, the Trump peace plan hinges on Hamas disarming. The U.S., Israel, and several Arab countries say they're opposed to pouring money into Gaza without assurances that Hamas no longer rules the territory. At the White House, I'm John Decker.